Okay, I just recorded a February journal and it just felt so different. I want to get back in my current flow. So here's one from 11/11, the first of that day, the Mayan day. Oh, it was an ascension day. It was 13 offering or water. And it's in the Tips and Tricks series called Examining Time. Are past and future real? If so, how? Good morning. Blessings and light to you on this ascension day of the Earth trecena, the last day of it. I notice I am addressing outward with this journal, and I find that a bit odd. When did they morph into addresses to others, these journals? Though for decades of quite private journaling, I was often aware of and even addressed readers or listeners. At first finding that most odd, but then getting over it with time. Still, I had thought that the journals were for me. She says. Yes, Oh well, back to that self-definition thing. Who and what am I? Indeed, as always, everything gets back to that, if only we look a little deeply. So it appears that my self-definition has morphed a bit more, again, as ever of late, what with time acceleration increasing exponentially. Soon it will be gone, and that will be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. But meanwhile, to be in the pure here and now, present, just that. And that's always the best way. We waste our energy, when placing it on future or past unnecessarily. Beyond the practical basics of logistics, of necessary planning, future and past don't exist. They only exist in reference to our now. Do you see this? So, how did they get magnified, all out of shape, become gargantuan as they now are? How did future and past manage to gain their own supposed reality independent of the now? It's important to see this, for when we do, we can deconstruct with our vision the false creations. Divorced from the now moment, neither past nor future can have any reality at all. They are but constructs, they are thoughts, tricks of the mind, popping up illusory things as if they were real. I hope you see this. It may take some going back over, for unless one is perfectly centered in heart from the start of this, you may have missed what was said. Why? Well, largely because of our programming, the beliefs we've been programmed with around these two false constructs, the past and the future. They truly are not real. They truly are not real except as they participate in the present. Be with this a moment. Surrender for just this moment all belief in their reality, so you can hear, from heart of course, what is being said. Present exists. Past and future do not. They have no basis in reality, not the way we've been taught to believe that they do. So just let them go if you can for a few moments here, and let's move on. I won't try to establish or inquire into why these false constructs have been propped up as if real themselves in society. And that's unimportant, not really relevant to now. So keep ever coming back into now. It can be the same thing as coming to heart if you like. Stay in the present. That's where reality lies. Now, it's a given that the whole cosmos, in a way, is a thought creation, a construct. Okay, I see that as well. Let's just leave that for now. It's not relevant here either. We're working within our now, where we find ourselves with what we've got. So, on that basis, we'll assign a certain reality to the material 3D realm. I'll use that word, reality, still knowing that ultimately none of this is real. That doesn't matter right now, though. Here and now is where we are, so let's deal with it. Just remember, these are just words. Don't get lost in them. Please don't assume. Stay out of mental processing, out of thinking, out of head entirely, as much as you can. To the extent you are able, maintain focus of attention there within heart. That is best. The most gates and doors will be open to you from there. Okay, present is real, nothing else is. Just be with that. Give the present its full due. There abides all the reality of this dimension, right here in the now. Accept that for this moment at least. Stay right here. So, what about past and future? What are they? Absent their relationship to this moment, they are nothing at all. To the extent in this moment it is necessary to make plans for the immediate future, preparing for dinner, planning an appointment, getting gas for the vehicle, to this extent only does the future exist. It doesn't really exist at all, the future. It's only a way of working in the now. As long as we maintain our strong foothold in now, we can work with it. Work with it without getting lost, that is. Now stay here. I feel some going out in mental processing, questioning about their work with law of attraction, creating their future, and so on. If you go there, you're not right here, right now. Stay with us. Surrender thought. Thought will come. Just ignore for best results. The future has no separate existence, no reality of any kind, apart from direct connection to the now. Once that connection is lost, so are you. What happens is that you find yourself pouring your energy into something that just doesn't exist. Now, come back to me. You can do this. Don't get lost in thought. Just stay here. This may be going too far, too fast. I don't know. I feel some keep pulling into thought, out of heart. I'll continue and we'll see. For this moment anyway, let's all stay here. Let's keep the future closely tied to the now. In that way, it has merit, practical use. Only that way. Okay, I give up on some of you. Love and light. See you another time. Moving on. I'll move to the past now. Not indulging those already off in their future plans. What is the past? Does it exist? Well, we create what we believe. Did you know that? Or is it only something you heard but didn't quite accept or believe just yet? It's not necessary to believe this or anything. That's not what I'm asking of you, of anyone here. We're just looking at the function, at the power of belief. That's all. Things are created based on belief. So we have a creation going there. Belief in the past as a real thing. We've been taught to think along those lines in that groove. So for those who believe this way, the past has a relative existence, a relative reality. Now, at risk of losing some of you, I'll say that there exists also an absolute reality. And that would be with a capital R. There's an absolute level. That is what truth, capital T, is about. There is ultimate truth, which composes this true reality. So we have the two realities. On the one hand, the mental construct. On the other, the absolute, the manifest truth. This manifest truth is not fully known by any but source, by prime creator, ultimate divinity, or deity. As we approach this, we divinize ourselves. We become one with that. This is not known in any way by the mind. Be in heart for this. That's the only place where you'll be in good contact with this understanding, this sure knowing as it arises. So, we have the two realities playing their separate parts. To the extent we come into alignment, into congruence with real truth, to that extent do we become real ones ourselves. To the extent that we pour our attention, our energy into the relative reality, the false or simply temporary one, to that extent do we weaken or dilute our power, ourself. To that extent, we are creating that which must die, must pass on, is transitory. We give it a temporary reality here, but because it is disconnected from ultimate reality and has no real truth at its core, it must eventually dissolve. Do you see? We are creating. We can create. Yet, we have ever the choice to create that which is both real and always beautiful, or that which is but temporary, ephemeral, what passes on. It's just a choice. It's not wrong or bad or any such thing. It's just a phase in our learning, a stage we go through. Earth is a schoolroom in one sense, dear friends. Can you see her this way? This is only one aspect of her ultimate reality, of course. She is far vaster than just that. Still, much can be gained and much lost, intentionally, by seeing Earth this way. As simply a schoolroom, much of the terribleness of life just melts away. We see it as only classes, only lessons. Nothing is permanent here. Take a deep breath with me now and see how you relax when you see things this way. It takes the ultimateness, the seeming externality out of what we experience here. Eternality out of what we experience here. We see it as passing, as a stage, as just lessons here for our benefit, for our growth. There's nothing eternal or endless about anything physical. This too shall pass can be said of it all, including earth physicality. It comes and it goes. Nothing solid remains. It isn't real, it's just a seeming, all of it. Let it go. Let it be just what it is.